Hi, welcome to another video by Jim the Mechanic. Today we're going to be changing the brakes on this 2003 Honda Accord. What we're going to do first before we do anything is we're going to push that piston all the way back in on the caliper so that we can check to make sure that the caliper slides on these pins the way it's supposed to. So you just put the screwdriver or pry bar in through the back here and you keep constant pressure on it and it pushes it all the way back as far as it's supposed to. And then I'm going to push the piston in a little bit that's left with the brake pad. I use the brake pad against that caliper and push it all the way back in. Alright, now we're going to check to make sure the slide pins work. They do. They slide back and forth just the way it's supposed to. This one also. They slide nice and evenly. Alright, so now we're going to take out this bolt here and this bolt here. They're actually probably 12 millimeter, this one as well as this one, and then we're going to move out this, take this bolt out here, the 17 millimeter here, and the other one is down underneath the bottom right here. We're going to take that out also. Alright, a problem that everybody runs into is trying to remove the rotor from the car. You see these, they get so rusted you really can't even get these things out of there. Two different ways you can do it. One, you can get in here with a metal punch and just hit it really hard with a hammer and that'll loosen them up, or you can get a tool like this. It's actually an impact driver and you put it on here like this and you hit it with a hammer and it breaks them loose. So let me just show you how that works. What you do is you put it on here like that. And hit it. And they come loose. What that does is it pushes it in and it turns it at the same time. And then you're able to take them out. Now, if you don't have this driver and you can't do that, then you just take a metal driver here, you put it on a metal punch, and you hit it really firmly on the back here, and you can loosen it like that too. All right, but we didn't need to do that with this one, so we're just going to take these out. Now, obviously, you can use a regular screwdriver to take these out, but I'm using this driver. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out these two bolts that actually hold the caliper into the car. I'll show you. There's two bolts here. They're actually 12 millimeter. You loosen these like that and like that. And then we'll just take the caliper off. Don't lose these bolts because you're going to need to use them over again. Then you can take the caliper. And we're just going to take it and move it off to the side like this to get it out of the way so we can work. And then we're going to take out these 17 millimeter bolts that hold the mounting bracket to the car itself. now that we have that removed from the car, we are going to change this rotor so we don't really have to worry about saving it. So we're just going to hit it from the back and knock it right off. So let me do that. This rotor is really badly rusted, so we're not going to reuse it. Alright, we're going to clean this face up right here so that there's no rust interfering with anything. And actually feeling it, we're not going to have to worry about that. It's in very good condition, so we're okay with that. Next thing we're going to do is we got the new rotor, we're going to put it on. Well, we're going to clean the grease that's off of it first. The grease is when they ship it to us from the factory. So spray it, and you just wipe it off with a rag. Right, and then we're going to put the new rotor back on, lining up the holes that hold the rotor in place. And then we're going to screw it back on with the screws that we previously removed. If you use the driver to take it off, you can just tap it to get it back on, not too tight. Just one time or so, just to drive it in there and tighten it, and then we're nice and tight. Right. Then we're going to change the mounting bracket, the caliper hardware kit I should say, which is right on here, and you just take these and you pull them off like that, and the same thing on this one, pull it off. Make sure there's not a lot of rust on here. If there is, you have to clean it up. But in this case, there is no rust on it. We're going to put the new hardware kit back on, or I should say, slide the hardware kit. We're going to install this one back on there too. And they just push right down, and you'll feel them snap right in place. These little clips pop right around here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lubricate these slide pins. So let me do that. Okay, then what you do is you take the slide pin and you pull it out, and then you lubricate it with some brake grease, just like this, and you push it back in. Make sure it goes in all the way, and then you do the same thing on this other one. Put some grease on here so it slides nice and freely, and then you put it back in here and make sure it slides in all the way. Now, before you put it back on, any place that the brake pad touches, you want to put some grease on it, like that. See? Now we're going to remount our mounting bracket onto the car itself, and you catch both bolts in there by hand before you tighten it up anyway. And now that you have both of them caught, you can tighten this up all the way. Nice and tight. And then tighten up the bottom one. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install our brake pads. And the one with the indicator is the one that goes to the inside. So we put that in here like this and push it in. And then this one goes in here on the outside and pushes it in. And with the grease, you see how easy everything slides? Okay, then we're going to take our caliper, lay our caliper over the top of everything, push your slide pins in so your caliper can go on. Same thing on the bottom. You may have to turn the slide pins so that everything lines up. And then you tighten up the bolts by hand only. Catch them both in there. And And then you can tighten them up. Once you have both bolts caught, then you can tighten them all the way. Okay. I just want to show you. Okay, so we have the rotor is put back on. The bolts are both tight. We did make sure that the face of the hub bearing was nice and clean there. We put our new hardware kit on. We greased everything. We put our mounting bracket back on, and we tightened up those 17mm bolts, both top and down the bottom. We lubricated where the slide pins, where the brake pads touch, everywhere on there. And the last thing we did is we tightened up our bolts that hold the caliper to the mounting bracket. And that's it, we're all set. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the other side and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.